The last example for this playlist is the zero-shot classification. Here, we are classifying our sentences into topics to see how similar they are to each of those topics or how relevant they are to each of those topics. And then from there, we can do a second layer of relevancy compared to the topics that interest to us. We're using the bart-large-mnli from Facebook. This model is also hosted on Hugging Face, which means it is publicly available for us, that we can access it from our Python Jupyter notebook. Here we see that they have a hosted interface API where you'll give it a sentence, the input, and then you give it the topics that interest to us. Here we see that this sentence has almost a perfect score related to urgency, or urgent in this case, and it has a 0.995 about phone, which in this case we see that they are talking about the iPhone. In this case, the topics we see here can be changed into what we want. For example, if we're not interested in phone, we can change to music player. And then as you can see, our phone relevant has gone, and now our music player is the second highest, 0.549. This can be replicated in our Jupyter notebook with the third example. At first, we run our pip install. We install the transformer PyTorch, or in this case, we just install the transformer in itself. Then we import tablet, panda, and pipeline. Pipeline is what needed to run the code. Tablet is there so that our results can be shown in table format, which is easier for viewing. And panda is there for us to help us create the background data frame where we can input the data in without worrying about inputting into the wrong one. After we do all that, we run our code through the pipeline. The pipeline we have chose is zero-shot classification, and within that pipeline, the model we chose for it is Facebook bart-large-mnli. This one allows us to put in our source sentences, here that we see, still the same ones, and our code. We are running here with showing each sentences first, then we sort them through our custom topics that we're interested in. Society, association, partnership, community, those are the ones that we're really interested in. And then we added the other ones in for more understanding: food, news, sport, culture, politics, and businesses. By running our outputs through the classifier, we put the sentences in, classify them, which is our pipeline, the model. This will give us our outputs. As you can see here in the example, the outputs are printed in tables thanks to our tablet, and with the correct score thanks to Panda, allowing us to do that. We see that the first sentence, Adam River Salmon Society, has a 0.90 relevant score to the topic community, 0.88 to society, 0.82 to partnership, 0.74 to association. And then if you take a look at other news, such as the last one, where we talk about the baked salmon, you will see that its most relevancy is actually news. And then about this, you can see the most relevance is about food with 0.90, 0.55 about community, much lower score and a much more drastic jump. Now, for those that passes our relevant topic scores, so we inputted this code. This one allows us such that if our score is closer to 1, which means passing 0.5, it will actually jump to 1 and turning this into true, which means they are in these 4 relevant topics. We then consider them with our work topics, the real topics that we're really interested in: conservation, stewardship, salmon enhancement, harvest transformation, and integration and collaboration. Then we run to the classifier again to see how close they are to those topics and print our final result. This can be seen through the second table. Here that we see our first sentence, the Adam River Summit Society, has a 0.92 similarity score to conservation and stewardship. It has 0.9, almost 0.92, 0.9198 to integration and collaboration. So what this means is that between each of our sentences or our inputs, we can find how closely they are related to each other, and therefore how close the society, the community, or the entity that where that sentence came from are related to what we are comparing to. And that will be it for today about the zero-shot classification.